everybody. Welcome back. We got more storms, and I know that when we talked about today, really the main focus was on the afternoon. I wasn't expecting this morning's storms to do much. However, we got a couple of loud ones here, and I will say that neither of these are severe at this point. However, this storm down in McLennan County, moving right towards Hewitt, um, that one could be warned. We also have this storm in the Whitney area, probably looking at least some small hail falling there right now. That was going to kind of snake its way northeast. And yeah, I mean, this storm in McLennan County is quickly intensifying, so I'm sure that will be severe before long. We'll take a look at yeah, we got a pretty good hail core on that one. So that one will probably be warned, excuse me, here fairly soon. So the thing is, we've been talking about the probability of storms today, and last night it became more clear. Last night when we were watching that major storm up to our northwest, the one that got close and blissfully just fell apart before it really got here. But we did have, it became more apparent that, the morning storms could be could need a little more attention, and then without a doubt, these are quickly intensifying storms here. So I may very well be running over to the green screen fairly quickly, especially for this storm down south of Waco. Let's take a look at the vertically integrated liquid again and look at that trend. So this storm here, the one moving into Hill County here, that one probably going to intensify as it gets closer. That storm in McLennan County, that will have a warning here pretty soon. The National Weather Service isn't going to wait very long before they warn that one. Of course, we do still have the probability here of pretty intense storms when we get into this afternoon, evening. Again, 4 to 5 o'clock. The thing I'm going to say about that too, though, is just like yesterday, I'm going to have a hard time telling you that there's no chance of storms prior to that. When we get into 12, 1, 2 o'clock, there's so much, there's lift out there, there's so much moisture, and we'll be heating up. I mean, I couldn't honestly tell you that we won't see storms between those two rounds. I think it's very possible that we could see some scattered activity during that time. But obviously the two greatest risks, the two kind of focuses will be this morning with this round moving through between 10 and 11 o'clock, maybe between 10 and noon. And then as we get into this evening, this late afternoon, evening time. The good news is tomorrow looks quite nice. Tomorrow I will be very busy catching up on all the things I haven't been able to do the last several days. So that's the mode we're in, folks. If I'm not doing this, I'm doing 100 other things. So I'm trying to take advantage of what I can, drink some water, kind of relax a little bit before we go back to the green screen. For now, well, hey, okay. So that storm's going to be severe. Should I be looking at the wind? They're keeping me on my toes this morning. Come on, Fort Worth. All right, I'm sorry. Just 1 second here. Ooh. Man, this is what happens. Hold on, I'm sorry. My stomach's been acting a little upset the last couple days, so really yesterday and today. Oh yeah. Okay, so the storm in Hill County that just had the severe thunderstorm warning, that one is more of a wind risk here, so that's going to be more of a windstorm. Looks like hail is possible in that one too. Moving northeast at 55. These are moving at a pretty good clip, so I'm not really that concerned about any... I'm not that concerned at this point about hail with or let's see. Yeah, I'm not as concerned about large hail in the storm in Hill County at the moment. I'm more concerned about hail in that McLennan County storm. And I expect that one will be, they're probably drawing up that warning next. We're going to have a couple of storms here So we've got one moving through Hill County right now, going to be moving up into Ellis County. And then we have one here in McLennan County moving up northeast very soon towards, I would say, southern Hill County into Navarro County. I've been doing this too much. So I'm going to try to hydrate here. And we'll take, again, a kind of a closer look at the winds here. This particular storm, the one here near Whitney. Now, these storms are going to be fairly low to the ground. And so we will have to watch for rotation in these. I would say, really, as these storms get northeast of our area, that's when we'll really be warming up. And so that is going to be when we have the best chance, I think, for possibly seeing some rotation with these. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get ready for the green screen here. All right. Yep. Hearing people, there's the second warning. The one I actually expected. So let's go here. Go ahead and put the microphone on, all that good stuff. Man, I thought I was going to get to, like, sit here and chill for a little bit. I thought I was going to be able to warm up a little. But apparently not. So our 2 severe thunderstorm warnings now, one in Hill County, moving into Ellis County, one in McLennan County, moving towards northern Limestone County, southern Hill County, southern Navarro County. So realistically, this one here, moving more towards Itasca, moving towards Grandview, Italy, Milford, probably going to hit Maypearl there towards Waxahachie, Forreston area. So there's that one. And then this southern storm going to be moving, looks like most of that's going to slide south of Waco, move towards Hallsburg and Riesel. Riesel, I never get that right. I apologize. I live in Waxahachie, so I understand how frustrating it is to have your town mispronounced. So, see, how's Alvarado? Had some field day at the stadium, and we got sent to our cars. Yeah, so I mean, right now the storm looks to stay. Riesel. Okay, so it looks like the storm looks to stay south of Alvarado, south and east. But if you're concerned about lightning, I mean, there will be lightning in that general vicinity with this storm passing by. So, yeah, I mean, if you're in Alvarado, I don't know that you need to take shelter or anything immediately, but I would say definitely keep an eye on it. Because just in case this one decides to, I mean, yesterday we had that shower that went through Waxahachie and disrupted the George Strait concert. It was a George Strait like tribute concert. And it looked like it was going to stay west of Waxahachie, and then it literally like spread its wings and spread out. And I'm like, are you joking right now? Hit Scarborough Renaissance Festival. It hit Rail Yard Park. I mean, it was like, oh, there's things going outside. Let me reach over and impact. I mean, it was just annoying. So, that's just the way it is. Let's see. About to head from Ennis to Austin. Should I delay my departure? Yes. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you yes. I don't, people ask me that all the time. They ask, I'm going from here to here. What should I do? I try not to give you specific advice when it comes to travel. But in that case, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, yeah, wait, Oh, man. Okay. So I'm all right, hold on a second. Can't really get a look at the southern side of that storm. So, okay. Just to show you, and I'm about to step back to the green screen. So we have the storm here in McLennan County. Already has a little bit of a tail there. And when I look at the velocity, I mean, you can already see that little bit of a shadow there. I don't like that. And then in the Hill County storm, again, you can see on the tail end, kind of a tail here, right? And again, when we look at the velocity view, there's a little tail there. Or there's a little shadow. So I'm not a fan of that. We'll see what those do. We'll keep an eye on that, of course. but not a fan of how these are looking velocity-wise, wind-wise. So, you know what? I'm going to step over to the green screen if you'll give me just a few moments here. I'm going to put on this, we'll be right back screen, but I'll be back very shortly. Just have to kind of shift gears, change a couple of things up, and go in front of the green screen to cover these severe storms. So stick with us. We'll be right back.
A smile upon your face, and I see something shimmering in your eyes. And they say if you want to glimpse the future, you need space. And you said you'll put down your morning guns. Would you follow me to wander? Take my hand and walk beside me in a world of thunder. Fear is an imposter. When you look at me this way, I find it hard to not give in. The days became weeks, it felt just like the night before. You were slowly fading in my mind. When you left, I was so completely gone, but now I'm sure you were some of the best of things to find. Find it hard to not give in. A smile upon your face, and I see something shimmering in your eyes.
At it again because we have more storms, and I'm sorry to tell you, but this evening you're probably going to get to see my bright shining face again. We have two storms right now, one of those moving through Hill County, one through McLennan County. Both of those are severe warned at this time. At this point, I would say the greatest risk with these, oops, sorry, I forgot to move the radar over. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right, Now it'll cooperate with me. So we have two storms right now, one in McLennan County, one in Hill County. Both of these are severe. I'm more concerned about strong winds in the Hill County storm right now. McLennan County, more of a hail producer. We do have to watch these storms because they are surface-based, fairly low to the ground, and if we do see rotation, then we could see those storms begin to rotate more intensely. We could have to be concerned about a couple of tornadoes. Now, again, we talked about this afternoon being a greater likelihood for severe weather, again, 4 or 5 o'clock. As I was saying a second ago, I can't rule out the probability of, or at least the possibility of storms in between the two, where we could get some storms that pop up like yesterday, just random little storms. I mean, the atmosphere is just so volatile that we have two disturbances coming through, one this morning, one this afternoon. Between there, I mean, the atmosphere is just so locked and loaded and primed for storms that I can't rule out a few. Now, these are moving fairly quickly, so I want to show you the two that we have. So let me shorten the loop here, so we're only seeing about 7 frames. So here's what we're looking at here. This storm north of Whitney, north of Hillsborough, moving right into Itasca. This one moving about 55 miles per hour. It's booking it pretty fast. And so it's moving northeastward through Hill County. And we're not at the heat of the day, but I mean, these things are already starting to make their mark. Number one, you can see the stronger winds here. We have the gusty winds in this storm moving towards Itasca, but we have this shadow here. And I'm not a fan of, excuse me, I'm not a fan of how that looks. And so, Sandy Ritchie got a message to go to our safe place. Can we come out South Midlothian? I mean, the storms aren't there yet. So, I'm not going to tell you that you're all clear because nothing's happened yet. So, you gotta wait and kind of see what's going on. But this shadow area here, I'm not a big fan of that. And so we'll keep an eye on that storm. Again, this is where we're watching. So both of these storms are going to have the potential to produce tornadoes, unfortunately. This storm down in McLennan County, kind of the same thing. I'm seeing this area here. I'm not a fan of that, okay? So we'll have to watch these. The greatest risks with these will be, strong winds, some large hail. We'll take a look at those hail cores. Yeah, this is going to be more of a hail producer south of Waco. Now, that hail core doesn't look as intense as it did a second ago. So these storms might be kind of teetering a little bit. They may not quite have the intensity that they otherwise would, or probably will have when they move northeast of our area. Once we get into afternoon heating, these things are off to the races. We're a little fortunate right now that it's only 10, 11 o'clock, literally 10, not like between 10 and 11, but it's about 10, 11 in the morning. So let me get the, I've got this clock and I keep forgetting to make this part of the routine to get this going. It's a very big, clear, bright clock that's just right in front of me. So again, like I said yesterday, everything in my studio is as easy as possible so that I can put all my brain power into this. So this storm quickly moving through Hill County, moving into southwest Ellis County here. With this storm, I would expect, hail up to quarter size is possible. This particular storm, not really too concerned about the hail, more of a wind risk with this one. But it's moving very fast. It's already about to move into the Maypearl area towards Forreston and Italy there too. So that storm will be moving into that area in the next, I would say, it's already near Grandview. So, it's going to be moving into the Maypearl area in the next 10 to 15 minutes, if that. This storm to the south, already making its way through McLennan County, going to be moving into southern parts of Hill County, northern Limestone, and southwestern Navarro counties here over the next several minutes as well. I'm going to go ahead and open the window here just so we can kind of, and there's a Navarro County electric truck there. Are they just waiting for the storm to get here so they can fix something? That would kind of be funny. At this point, we just have electric company trucks just staging everywhere, just waiting. They're just waiting for it, right? So these are the two storms that we have. Neither of these look particularly dangerous at this time. Part of the reason that these severe thunderstorm warnings are a good idea is because of just how quickly they can intensify. I mean, I'm talking these things can ramp up at any moment. Both of them look like they're a little bit on the less intense side at this point, but we'll see what this does. It looks like this McLennan County storm probably moving a little slower. Let's see, what does this say? Moving at 55 miles per hour. So I would say this McLennan County storm not booking it quite as quickly as the Hill County storm. Both clocked at 55 miles per hour per the warning, but it just looks to me like that McLennan storm isn't moving quite as fast. So we'll zero in on both of these storms again, so you can kind of get an idea of what we're looking at. And so here's the Hill County storm. I mean, you can see how fast this thing is moving. Very, very quickly. We will have to watch both of these storms for signs of rotation. This storm right now, moving right into Itasca, going to be moving towards Maypearl and Italy and Forreston very soon, eventually right towards Waxahachie, right through Ellis County, and then on to the northeast. Now, after these storms, yes, I see the question a few times. We have more storms possible this afternoon and evening. This is part one. Part two arrives later today. McLennan County here, this storm, looks like this one's actually weakening a little bit. I think we may be in a situation right now. We don't have a whole lot of daytime heating, so I think what we're going to see is these storms use up some fuel and then weaken a little bit, and then use up some fuel and weaken. They'll kind of go back and forth. Later today, though, when they get east and northeast of our area, they'll be getting into later parts of the day, eventually in the afternoon. That's when those storms could become much more dangerous. Not that they're not worth watching here, but eventually later on, I think that we could be looking at a situation where those are probably much more intense. These are going to be loud storms, don't get me wrong about that. This one, especially moving into Ellis County, a lot of lightning with that storm. So these will be worth watching here, but neither of them at this moment are extreme or anything, too notably intense. Later on today, after about 4 to 5 o'clock. Now, let me amend that. Between the two rounds of severe weather we're expecting today, I can't rule out a few storms because the atmosphere is just so primed, so locked and loaded for storms that you remember yesterday we had, it was just like there was thunder coming out of nowhere. With all of those storms, the little thunder showers that were popping up everywhere. So these little thunder showers here and there, I think that we could very well see more of that today, especially in the afternoon hours, 12, 1, 2 o'clock, and then getting closer to 4 to 5 o'clock, that's when we'll start to see the next round really coming together and moving through. Now, this evening storms, I think it could be a lot like this. We may only have, we'll only have one or two opportunities for storms, but those that do develop could be severe. So I don't think we're going to see widespread storms everywhere. I think we'll see 1, 2, or 3 storms, but those we do see will be worth watching. Nicole Sane, you said, will you let us know if there's a warning? Well, yeah, that's what I'm here for. But what I'll tell you is the greatest way to get a warning from us is Weather Call. That is a service you can sign up for, just $15 a year. It's not that expensive, trust me, just over $1 a month. And that will call your phone when there is a warning for your location. So you're not waiting for me to go, hey, here it is, look at it. That is something that you can have directly there, right to your phone. It will give you a call. It'll be my voice where you can get a call once that warning is issued. So that is the best possible spot to get that information. So both of these storms moving fairly quickly to the northeast, and both of them are severe warned at this time. Neither of them look particularly dangerous to me. These are kind of sitting at that borderline of severe, but you notice they both have those little tails on them, and both of these storms are very low to the ground, very close to the surface. They have to be paid attention to for possible rotation. And that's just going to unfortunately be kind of a given for both of these. And what I've been noticing, and we'll check this again, is I do see little shadows kind of on the lower ends. This one's a little harder to see on this radar. We'll have to take another look at the tower to our south. While it's still closer to that one, but I mean, we can see little shadows there, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of inflow, but there's enough of a shadow there that we need to pay attention. So we will definitely keep an eye on these storms as they go forward. But the main features of this thing right now: frequent lightning and thunder, very heavy rain coming out of these, obviously, and then let me just put this back into motion for you. Get that moving around. And they're moving fast. I mean, 55, plus or minus miles per hour. So they're moving pretty quick. I mean, it's going to get there and it's going to roll out pretty quickly. Ryan, can we expect any flooding from the storms today since the ground is already saturated from the past couple of days? So the short answer is yes. Now, I'm not expecting a lot of flooding from these particular storms. We have had a lot of rain. The ground is pretty well saturated. The good news is it hasn't been constant rain. So we've had breaks where the ground is able to kind of soak some of that stuff in. The other good thing is that these storms, I think the storms this evening will be moving fairly quickly as well. Thank you, Jamie, for the Cash App donation. Greatly appreciated there. But I do think that we will be looking at the storms moving fairly quickly, so we won't have to deal with too much flooding, I don't think. There may be some flash flood warnings that come out for these storms this evening, just because of how much rain they're pushing through. But I think they'll be moving quickly enough that it's not like we're going to have a long, persistent rain to cause more flood problems. Jimmy, just getting severe thunderstorm warnings for Hill and Navarro on TV. Ellis Hill Navarro. Well, I mean, we're usually a little quick to jump out there, and the nice thing is that we don't have to deal with being a news station and they've got other headlines they got to do before we get to us. So that's just a matter of how that goes. Is that a bird or something? Something just flew by this window that looked wild. So the two storms that we have, and thank you, Scott, for the $20 donation on Venmo. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so Angie saying that the live keeps freezing up. We've been having that issue recently of just various problems. I don't know, various problems with all right, so I'm going to check here because we've been having multiple streaming issues, and I'm not seeing anything on my end. My computer looks fine. But man, it's just I don't know what the deal has been lately. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean, it looks like on Facebook they're having issues. YouTube should be okay. The YouTube stream itself should be good to go. I'm not sure what's going on with Facebook recently. Really, it's been the last several days that we've had just various issues going on. I don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Facebook in and of itself is kind of a dumpster fire at times. So, what is the nickname for it? Failbook. Kayla, thank you so much for the Venmo donation. Greatly appreciate that. Yeah, so just Facebook having all kinds of weird stuff, but YouTube is fine. So if you go find us on YouTube. Saying I'm on a massive fiber line and YouTube has been weird the last couple days. So it seems like it's a Facebook issue. So if you go to our YouTube stream, that's much more stable. Sounds like the issue may be localized to Facebook. So jump over to our YouTube stream, and I mean, you can even put that on your TV. What's better than that? Make my bright shiny face even bigger. So possible benefit for you there. So we have these two storms. Both are severe warned at this time. So one in McLennan County, looks like that storm is weakening. The one moving into Ellis County doesn't look particularly intense either at this point. Now, it's going to get dark, it's going to get loud, it's going to get rowdy for a little bit, but neither of these storms, at least from what I've seen, look terribly crazy at the moment. Yeah, I'm not seeing a terrible lot of wind in either of these storms at this point, but I will say I think we could at least see some gusty winds, at least some breezy winds. And then, yeah, neither of these are looking particularly hail driven either. Like I say, I think these storms are going to get into an environment where they're big and puffy and bad for a while, and then they kind of weaken for a little while until we get that more consistent daytime heating in place. I think we're going to see these storms struggle to maintain that intensity for too much longer. And Stephanie, you're asking why aren't captions available anymore? I am not entirely sure. I'm going to look into that. We had that question a few days ago. Haven't found anything new yet, but we are going to see what we need to do to get those closed captions going on YouTube again, because I'm not sure what is going on. But I will say that these storms, I mean, they're not particularly intense at this point. We may see those severe thunderstorm warnings canceled here shortly, but they are usually so captions usually aren't available on YouTube. Not sure about that. So yeah, they're canceling this warning. Probably will cancel this one as well. So there goes the first warning. Looks like they may cancel this other one. Now, I don't think that these storms are done. I think we're just seeing them in a cooler environment have a little trouble maintaining their intensity. Once we get daytime heating here, that's going to be the one thing that's missing. We're going to start to see more of these storms intensify, and that's why, there goes that second warning, that's why we will see more of the severe weather later on this evening, 4 or 5 o'clock starting off and going on from there. Donnie, you're not receiving notifications from Weather Call. Were you included in both of these warnings? Because if you were, go in and check your settings. Make sure everything is set up right. I've heard some weird things about, when you go in and maybe if you change something, then somehow it flummoxes it. But just go in, check your settings, and you'll be able to kind of confirm what settings you have and what you have set up. Already hearing thunder by Wedgeworth. Yeah, I mean, the storm's going to be moving into Waxahachie. It's already gotten pretty dark here at the studio. Diana, you're storm weary. I don't blame you one bit. So, Donnie, you're between Midlothian and Venus off 67. Well, I don't think you were in this warning. I don't think you were in the warning that was just issued. So that would make sense why you didn't get the call for this one today. I don't believe you were included in that. So that's why you... Chris Andrade, is there no share link for the YouTube? I know that we've been posting one. Matt's been posting one in the chat there. So... yeah, there's the link there. Got calls last night, but nothing today on Weather Call. Here's the thing, everybody. If you're not in the warning polygon, if you're not inside of that warning, you're not going to get a phone call. You could be across the street from the polygon, technically, and it won't be you won't be included. So if you don't get a call from Weather Call and everything is set up, you weren't in the warning. The thing is, we haven't done countywide warnings since 2008. So if there is a warning in Ellis County, that doesn't mean that all of Ellis County is going to get a warning. It's only for your location. So if you're not personally actually inside that warning polygon, you're not going to get a phone call from Weather Call. So that's just the way those warnings work. So the warnings have been canceled at this point, but if you were not actually in the warning polygon itself, you're not going to get a call from Weather Call. So that's the important difference. I mean, I've seen people that were just outside the polygon, didn't get a call, could not figure it out. We zero in, yeah, they're not inside it. It's the other side of town that's inside of that warning. So that's just the way that goes. So yes, Renee, the warnings were canceled. Both of these storms have weakened. Since they got started. I think part of what the issue is that we're not warmed up yet. We haven't hit daytime heating. And so I think once we hit daytime heating, then we will probably be dealing with, more consistently severe weather. But for now, these are not severe storms at this time. They're going to bring, some heavy rain, that kind of thing. They can definitely do that, bring lightning and thunder and all that fun stuff. They can be a little rowdy, but they're not severe at this time. Now, 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock tonight, we'll probably see severe weather. And I'm going to be working on kind of getting a better timeline for you on that. I wanted to see what this morning's stuff did and then kind of focus on this afternoon's messaging after that. But we will have a second round of storms, and I can't rule out more showers and thunderstorms between the two. I'm not really expecting severe weather between those two times. But like yesterday, we could see these little thunder showers that pop up and just kind of pass through ahead of all of that. So that's where we expect things to go over the next several hours. So this evening, one more chance of severe weather. It does look like we will have one more chance of storms today, but tomorrow's nice. Wednesday's nice. Thursday, a cold front comes through. Could be some showers and storms there. That doesn't look like a particularly serious situation as far as severe weather is concerned. Then we have to look to the weekend. A little far away to really talk about the weekend in detail, but we will bring you more updates on that going forward. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream here because these are not severe storms. In fact, why don't we go back over to the storm desk and we'll cover those there, and we can talk a little more about the severe weather headed our way. If you'll give me just a moment here, let's just quickly shift gears. Okay. Isn't that cool how we can do that? All in this small area. Okay, so Facebook is having some issues today. What's new? So we'll I'll tell you, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube is definitely going to be better here. I'm going to try to see. Let's try to look into that a little bit. Okay. So I don't know what's going on with Facebook here, the Facebook stream. Oh yeah, I'm watching it right now and it's terrible. Man, what is going on? Okay. So yeah, thanks, Matt. We're gonna pin that YouTube link so that it's there. Let's go ahead and report this. Let me see. I'm trying to report this to Down Detector, but it's not really giving me an appropriate option. Guess we'll just say uploading. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what is going on. Sorry, folks. I've got messages coming in here. Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, the Facebook stream is just a mess. I don't know what the deal is over there. That's got to be an internal meta issue. But yeah, it looks like Facebook is just, I'm watching it right now. It's just terrible. That is awful. And maybe Facebook's ready to can me. Who knows? I've heard multiple weather pages, actually, funny enough, in the last several days have been having issues. Weather pages specifically. So there's no telling what's going on. Maybe where the latest ones... Okay, just 1 second here. Because I've got people messaging the page too, asking about the live stream. So I'm going to grab this. Well, that didn't work. There we go. All right, so I'm going to make sure that we are... All right, so yeah, so I don't know what the deal is with Facebook. Once you're over at the YouTube page, make sure you subscribe to us so that you can stay in the loop there as well. As a matter of fact, I'm curious to see what the subscription number does, because we can watch that. Watch that live. Yeah, okay. 5,620. Cool. All right, so yeah, Facebook is having some issues. So if you're having those issues there, go over to YouTube, and everything's going to be more stable there. So I wanted to sit down and just kind of review what we're looking at for the day. So here's just kind of a broader view. We have a number of storms across our area. The two that we were looking at, one moving into Waxahachie right now, one south of Hubbard, north of Groesbeck. And these were severe storms. Those have since weakened at this point. I'll tell you, though, these are very possibly going to intensify once they get northeast of us and we start getting into, later hours of the day. So won't be shocked at all if we are, looking at stronger activity. Now, as I mentioned, I don't think it's going to be far-fetched to assume that we could see more thunder showers like we saw yesterday, where they seem to be just kind of popping up everywhere. So, yeah, I won't be surprised about that at all. And I'll show you something here. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can I pull this up? Yes, we can. So check that. So just to show you, this is something interesting about this whole thing, and we'll get back to the weather here in a second. But we have over 48,000 people on the Facebook page. Over 48,000. Let's see if I can get a hard number here. 48,642 people on the Facebook page. Just over 5,600 on YouTube. So there's a big difference there. And when things like this happen, this is why you want to follow us on multiple multiple platforms. Okay, now I'm getting issues. Hang on one second, folks. Now I'm seeing issues here at the studio. Telling me that okay, so that's back. Telling me dropped frames. It's looking like the internet connection isn't that great. Okay, it looks like it's back now, so. So somebody commenting here that if they have already attempted to watch your live on Facebook and leave it, won't go back to the rest, back to the most recent unless your icon indicating live is clicked. That's a little wordy there. I didn't follow all of that. Yes, Elva, the Facebook stream is having some issues today, so jump over to Facebook or jump over to our YouTube stream, and that's going to be much more stable. Facebook had us on a live with active seek shelter warnings and things like that. Could not get your current live at all. Popped onto YouTube and it's completely different. Yeah. So right now YouTube is kind of winning the race here. So that's kind of where we're at. So I just have a hard time believing this would be on my end. We're getting up to summer, and summer is going to be our research and development. Our research and development season. So I think what I'm going to do is offer Matt some free lunch, and we're going to come in here and try to take a look at this and see what we can do, get this all figured out. Matt, I mean, at the rate this May's going, I'm gonna have to do that this week. Just bribe you with some wings or something, and we'll get to work on this. But yeah, you can see the Facebook or the YouTube subscriber link there, the subscriber, let's see, the subscriber count there. But again, these storms, I mean, you can see how quickly they fall apart. Let me put 21 frames up here, and you can see they swell up and then they quickly fell apart here. So as they both moved into Waco and Hillsborough, I mean, these were pretty powerful storms, and then they very quickly fell apart. So let's get back over to the radar here. Bree Lynn, I am not able to make closed captions available on YouTube right now. We're working on that. Megan, you've watched some lives on non-weather pages that had the same issue, so not just you. Yeah, so Facebook is just, I think Facebook is just on one today, and they're just having some issues, but that happens, unfortunately. But we are not having consistent issues here. I think we every now and then we'll have something brief, but yeah, not the big deal. So let's talk about the future. Let's talk about this afternoon, evening. Let's get into some models here and kind of take a look at what to expect. This is the 14Z. Obviously, you can see the storms that we have there. So let's move forward here through the models. Oh, come on, cooperate with me here. So as we get to 6 o'clock, as we get to, that's 3 o'clock, 4 or 5. Now, the thing about these is these models have changed quite a lot over the course of the last couple of days. So here we go. So that's 8 o'clock. Okay, so there you can see storms in our area. So these models have not handled this well, because really today the question is, where are they going to pop up? Where and when? So, and this will be, that's because the dry line is moving eastward. Now, this model at this point shows that's 3 o'clock, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that assumes that all of this is going to kind of zipper southward, right? And that's possible. That's very possible for that to happen. But we've also seen situations, where we had storms that moved. We expected more storms from the northwest, and then we had more pop up from the southwest. So that's why I'm saying after about 4 or 5 o'clock, that's when I'm going to be watching for storms to our west. Don't look at this and say, oh, well, it's going to wait until 8 o'clock and so we won't do anything. I mean, it really depends on where and when it pops up. So after 4 or 5 o'clock, that's kind of where things are going to, that's where it's going to depend. Karen Gale, I know that she just said that she couldn't see us. Facebook is making everything really confusing. It's just terrible. So, and there was a message earlier about, you have to click I think I understand what the guy was saying. You have to click the actual profile picture on Facebook. Hang on a second here, because there's people now commenting on other videos that are not able to get in. But you have to click on the Facebook profile photo to get back into the current stream. So they've made it really crazy. So that's what we're expecting later today. And I mean, when you look at it, let's take this down for a moment. We do have a enhanced risk for most of our area here. So that's the enhanced risk. It goes down to slight south of us. It is true that most of the storms will probably be from our area northward. And again, that's talking after about 4 to 5 o'clock today. So that's what we're looking at. After 4 or 5 o'clock, we'll have more. I mean, we've even got up north. This is not our area, but up north we have a moderate risk, which is not common. Now, you want to check out tomorrow? Check out tomorrow. Nothing. No storms expected tomorrow. Tomorrow we get a break. Wednesday we get a break. As a matter of fact, no, let me bring that back. So that's Wednesday. Have they put anything out for Thursday yet? Nothing for Thursday. Nothing really into the weekend. Now, storms are possible for the weekend, but they're not showing a particular severe weather risk with those. Thursday rather, a cold front comes through. Could be some strong storms, but it doesn't look like particularly a big severe weather event. So here's what we're looking at. We have the remnants of those two storms. So I'm trying to jump in the chat here. I know that there's more Facebook issues. Sometimes the Facebook is fine. Sometimes it's just having all kinds of issues. Yeah, there's no telling there. So you can see the remnants of these storms, but of course back behind all of that activity, you can see more development of just those little showers and thunderstorms. Again, I think we're going to see those throughout the day. It's just going to be one of those kind of gross, stormy looking days. So that's unfortunately going to be the case. And then as we get into 4, 5, 6 o'clock, we got to start looking west, because that's when the bigger storms are going to start popping up. Okay, Taylor, you're asking, are the storms coming up from Waco area around 3 in Kearns going to be supercells? I'm not sure what you're looking at there. I assume you're looking at the WAP, some future radar app or something. I would, you can't follow these future radar things too closely today, because models have struggled with when and where those storms are going to pop up. So, I mean, yeah, you have to look at those things with a grain of salt. But yes, the storms that pop up later today could very well be supercell thunderstorms that move through. And there's not a whole lot I can tell you about those storms later today. Depends on when and where they pop up. Probably not going to see too many of those, but the ones that we do see could be severe and could produce large hail damaging winds, even a few tornadoes. So that's what I can tell you. I can't tell you exactly when and where they're going to happen. Unfortunately, that's just not the setup we have. Chris Andrade bringing up a good point. A good thing to remember, if you have YouTube, you can exit the app and Kevin's Live will pop up on your home screen. So if you have to text family, take a call, etc., you won't lose the live, versus Facebook, where if you close the app or anything, it goes completely away. Yeah, that's true. So, when you are watching the Facebook live stream, this is what he's talking about. You have the live stream going, and then you reduce it, and it's going to go into the corner here. But when let's see. No, I messed that up. If you're watching it, right, and then you close it out, well, mine's not doing it. Are we sure that's going to do that on live? Because it's not doing it with mine. It may be because I have Discord connected. I'm not sure. Not doing that with mine, but usually you can. It'll kind of go in the corner, and you can still function on other parts of your phone. And Taylor, we went from a 30% to a 95% rain. Again, you're looking at that WAP, and you can look at an automated forecast if you want to, but I can't speak to that. All I can speak to is the forecast that I'm giving you. I'm saying we got about a 40% chance of storms overall this afternoon and evening. It just depends on where they pop up, where they go. Somebody on YouTube, probability of storms in Hatchie around 7 or 8. Like I say, it depends on when and where those storms pop up later today. Some of you won't get anything this evening. Some of you will be looking at it going, what in the world? Everybody's talking about storms. I got nothing. It's the same thing with Weather Call. If you're signed up for Weather Call and there are storms around you, but you're not actually in a warning, you're not going to get the call, right? So that's the important thing to remember about. That's the important thing to remember about Weather Call, is just because you don't get a call doesn't mean it's not working. You have to be in the warning polygon itself. It doesn't mean, hey, there's a warning around you. It only works when there's a warning on top of you. And we don't warn entire counties anymore. That's kind of a thing of the past. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up for now. Hopefully Facebook will get its act together before this evening. Not sure what's going on there, but we'll just have to see, what they do. Hopefully they kind of figure things out. But stay tuned. We'll have more updates throughout the day. Again, we have We'll have little thunder showers and things kind of passing through this morning, through the early afternoon hours, and then, like I say, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, that's where we're going to start watching for bigger storms to develop to our west, and then that will bring the possibility of severe weather to our area this evening. Again, can't tell you when and where those storms are going to pop up, just depends on when and where they start, and then move eastward, and we will cover those storms